Hello, everyone, and welcome to our story corner. Today, we're journeying to a long, long time ago, to a sunny field beside a quiet little village. Here, we meet a boy who had a very big job. He was a shepherd, and his whole day was spent watching his master's fluffy, white sheep. They looked so cozy, just munching, munching, munching on the sweet green grass. But our shepherd boy was feeling really, really bored. Ugh, I'm so sleepy, he told his loyal sheepdog, Buster. Buster just thumped his tail softly against the ground. We gotta do something, Buster. There's nothing exciting happening, is there? The sheep, of course, only went baa and kept right on eating. The boy tried everything to pass the time. He tried singing silly songs on his little wooden pipe. And he tried telling Buster funny stories about clouds that looked like giant hamburgers. But soon even that got boring. He slumped down against a tree and sighed heavily. What if something did happen, Buster? He wondered aloud. Then a playful, sneaky idea popped right into his head. He remembered his master's strict rule: if you ever see a wolf, you must shout as loud as you can so the villagers can rush to help. The boy thought to himself, I wonder if they'd really come, even if there wasn't a wolf. He couldn't resist. He jumped up, stood on a big, smooth rock, and took a huge, deep breath. Then he cupped his hands around his mouth and yelled with all his might, "Wolf! Wolf, help! Oh no, a wolf's attacking! Please, somebody come quick!" Down in the village, the friendly villagers dropped everything they were doing. Some were stirring soup, others were folding clothes. It didn't matter. They all ran as fast as they could. Their shoes kicked up dust as they hurried toward the field. We gotta save those poor sheep, they panted, their hearts pounding. But when they got there, all out of breath, they saw nothing. Nothing but the boy standing on the rock, laughing and giggling. The sheep were just peacefully nibbling on grass, completely undisturbed. A nice old lady shook her head. "Young man, that wasn't very kind. You shouldn't scare us like that." The boy just shrugged, still grinning from ear to ear. "Oh, I'm sorry, it's just so boring out here. You know," the villagers were tired and a little bit cross. They slowly walked all the way back to their work, murmuring to each other, "Well, that was a complete waste of time." A day later, guess what? He did it again. The boy was bored, so he took his spot on the rock and shouted, "Wow, wolf, wolf. I really see one this time. He's huge." Again, the villagers stopped what they were doing, looked at each other, and sighed. "Should we go?" one of them asked. "I don't know." Another replied, "He's probably just fooling around." But what if he's not? They decided to go, just in case. And, just like before, the boy was perfectly fine, laughing his head off. "Gotcha again," he called out, waving cheerfully. This time, the kind villagers weren't just cross, they were disappointed. They gathered around him and told him firmly, "If you keep making up stories, we won't believe you anymore. This is not a game." Then came a quiet, sunny afternoon. The boy was sitting and chatting normally with Buster when suddenly a huge shadowy figure bounded out from the dark trees at the edge of the field. It wasn't a joke this time. It was a real, massive, scary wolf. Its eyes were bright and hungry, and its teeth looked very, very sharp. The boy's heart thumped, thumped, like a drum against his ribs. He was terrified. He didn't stop to think. He just turned and ran toward the village, screaming for real this time. Please, it's real. A wolf, I promise. I need help right now. Help me. The villagers heard his desperate cries, but they all just kept doing their work. Hear that? A baker said, dusting flour off his hands without even looking up. He's back at it again. A farmer frowned and shook his head. We told him not to lie. We can't keep dropping everything for his silly jokes. So nobody went. They truly believed he was just pretending again. And because no one came to help, the hungry wolf was able to chase the poor sheep, and sadly, it scared some of them away and hurt others. When the boy's master finally came to the field and saw the terrible mess, he was so upset. He had trusted the boy with his flock, but the boy had broken that trust with his jokes. The boy learned the hardest lesson of all that day. When you play tricks and tell lies, people eventually stop listening, even when you're finally telling the truth. The moral of this story is super important. Always tell the truth. If you tell fibs, even if they're just to be funny, people will find it hard to trust you. And when you really need help, your friends and family won't know if you're being serious. Being honest is what builds trust and keeps everyone safe and happy in the end. Thank you so much for listening to our story today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. We'll see you next time.